Hello, and welcome to Phantom does a not very in-depth guide into High Park. Mostly because I don't think there are too many strategies to High Park, which is good um, in the sense that you haven't got, well, I haven't got a complex video to record, but in the idea that it should be easy to follow. But for those who know the other weekday and weekend events, know there's lots of strategy to it, and therefore there's lots of tips and tricks for it. This one, I don't think is there. So, so like Hidden Luca, whatever the other event is called that I've got a video on, go and check that one out as well for when that comes around again. Although I'm sure they've tweaked it slightly. Anyway, enough rambling. What are the important things? Let's start with the boosts in the bottom right. Again, apologies for those without the Mafia Pass. If you have the Mafia Pass, everything just auto-fills to 12 hours. Do open it once at the very start, because on my main account it was weird and was showing as inactive, and then as soon as I opened it up, it then all started doing. Maybe it hasn't happened here, so don't know, maybe it was just this morning. But you can just press a button to refresh it, which unsticks it. But as you can see, mine's already all maxed, and it will just keep it maxed for you. Otherwise, you have to watch a painful amount of videos, and it is worth it in the sense of to be able to complete the event or come close to completing the event. You definitely need these boosts. So, unfortunate for those that don't have the Mafia Pass. It's the way of the game. I'm not actually going to go over what they do because they just are there and passive, give you boosts to practically everything. The one that's pay to win is the boost option. Again, because I'm free to play minus the Mafia Pass, I'm not going to cover that. It's in the shop, costs money. There's also time skips in the shop. But before you start purchasing anything of that, if you do want to do the main benefit of the pass, is other than the extra rewards, is removes the unlock time of the plantations, which is those equivalent of those time skips. So if you purchase the pass, don't also purchase time skips because you're not really getting any benefit out of it. You're just buying expensive diamonds. Cool. So don't worry that boost says inactive on the left-hand side. The little flask, the boost in the bottom right. If you have Mafia Pass constantly active, don't worry about it. So, there are 3 things to upgrade. I guess technically more than 3, but that's main things. There's the farms, which is this one. There is the shipment center, so the truck. And there's the weed office, shop front. And the most amount of strategy that comes here is if you upgrade 1, and I'm just going to do it here just so we can work through it, is if you do 1 upgrade, watch the upgrade, the income in the very top left goes from 40 to 42. If I upgrade the shipment center by 1, it goes from 42 to 42. If I upgrade the weed office, it goes from 42 to 42. What that means is I need to invest my money into the farm to be able to maximize it. Now I could just do 40 here, and I will because I'm lazy, and it goes up to 70. You can do this also sort of visually, because you can see the truck is quite happily picking everything up, so there isn't a backlog at the farm, so the truck is good enough for the moment. And the weed office, you can see from how much is there, so you can see that's quite rapidly mounting up. So my guess would be the next upgrade that needs to be done is the office. So, other strategy. log back in every couple of hours, repeat. I think the important part is start as early as you can. So I'm recording this at the end of day 1, so I've only got 49 hours left. So I'm already putting myself at a disadvantage by not starting earlier. Don't worry about me. The other thing is, don't get too disheartened if you don't think you're going to make it to the very end, because admittedly, the last couple of rewards, especially those 15 mythical safes and the 4 blue keys, are probably some of the best. You still get a fair amount of resources just by doing it, and let's say stage 11 or 12 is very achievable, even for me on this account, having started so late. But key strategy, other than just making sure that I put all my money in the one that needs upgrading most first, is hitting these breakpoints. So if I do one upgrade, the income comes from 399 to 415, so it's a small upgrade, but as soon as I hit that 50, that gets a unlocked at level 50 times 2 bonus and jumps all the way up to 1k. So when I've hit level 50, I can now almost guarantee, you see it didn't change my income from 70 to 70, is that something else needs upgrading first. So where I've got 23 here, well, now going up to 27, what you can do is roughly half that. So roughly half of 23, rounded quite generously up, 27 even, let's call it 23. I know that's nowhere near half, but roughly speaking, there you go, 21 was roughly a good estimate. Maybe I should have said 2/3. And do that set of upgrades, log off, come back in 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, 2 hours, whenever you get the chance to. Keep repeating that cycle. The more time you sit here watching it, the more frustrating it is. You don't really gain any advantage. There's no active things to go and tap on to be able to make it go any quicker, other than, I guess, arguably by constantly tapping on these upgrades you're making it marginally quicker. But in the grand scheme of things, the more important point here is that you play more sort of passively by leaving it for a bit and coming back. But whenever you do log back in, just do that process of doing those 1 upgrades, then it gives you which one you need to put more money in. If you've not logged in for, let's say, 4 hours or something, and you've got a huge amount, just go up to the nearest set of 50 or 100. Excuse me. So up to the nearest 50 or 100, so when you hit max and it goes up to the full rank, just do that until it says, like here it says +7. Then you know you can just go on to the next one and do all the way up to the next set of 50 or 100. Again, just leaving a little bit of resources left over, or if it was like this and it was spread like this, you know, you can just do sets of roughly 2/3 of how much you can do as an upgrade. Pretty much optimizes your income. The big things also are, which I probably can't demonstrate whilst we're waiting here, maybe we'll have enough time. Let's actually go and do this process. 318, stayed, went up. So do this one first, do 10-ish, then do, let's do 25-ish, let's do up to 50. Let's take this up to about 50. There you go. I probably still won't have enough. Oh well, it's a shame. It would be good to illustrate it properly rather than just saying it out loud. But when you get the new farm unlocked, so you can see the banana weed at 30 minutes, when you do get the unlock, again, if you've got the Mafia pass, you get the option to reduce that cooldown by 30 minutes. So the first farm option, you go up by you can unlock that instantly by reducing 30 minutes off the 30-minute timer. And then when you do have that new farm, always upgrade the highest farm. So your lower level farms have no value whatsoever, so it's not worth investing any resources into them. It's only the highest level farm you should be upgrading. Cool, and I did say that it wasn't too much strategy to it. That's how I'm playing it. I've got a lot of catching up to do on, so that's what I'm going to be doing for the next bit. don't get disheartened if you don't get all the rewards. You don't need all the milestones. It's also entirely achievable free to play. On my main account, I'm already up to like the last 3 farms. Again, I've spent no diamonds or money on it, so it's definitely possible. I've logged in every couple of hours ish throughout the day, and it takes a few minutes just coming in and popping in, doing these upgrades, and then forgetting about it for another few hours. So it's not an overly strenuous event, therefore it gets my vote as a good weekday event. Other than having to log in so frequently, it's very punishing if you log in, sort of before the working day and then once after the working day. It doesn't work very well, unfortunately. And especially the first section, like whilst I'm talking, I can now do this upgrade and illustrate the skip 30 minutes. Is a great example of this first little section is definitely more active. But once you're over that first little section, every few hours is a reasonable login time to be able to complete it at a sensible pace. Cool, good luck.